The following is a Productions original series.
Hello and welcome to Walk and Roll Live. I'm Doug Vincent, joined by Addie Rich. Our podcast is dedicated to amplifying the voices of the disability community. Thank you so much for listening. We appreciate you coming. And I am a polio survivor. Addie, you know what? I'll just tell him.
You tell him. You tell him.
Addie has CP, which is cerebral palsy. Did I say that correctly? Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
So did you have a good week?
I did. The weather was fairly nice. The daffodils are coming out.
Nice.
Work was pretty smooth. I shouldn't say that too loud. It was the start of a new month. So obviously there was work to be had, but you get a cadence after time that you're like, okay, do this, then do that. Then and I like that. Like my brain likes rote. So here we are. So,
I'm all about the routine. I just, part of it's practical for me because, I'm in my routine and I don't forget to brush my teeth or whatever it happens to be. And when it comes to like my meds, I have them at the same time, that I have breakfast every morning, all that good stuff. And if I when I travel, that if I'm going to, miss my meds a day, that's when I'm going to do it,
Yeah.
Because you don't have breakfast in the room. So you get ready, you go and have breakfast out, or they have something at the hotel, and I'll even bring them with me. And then, 2 hours later, I'm like, oh, I didn't take my pills with breakfast.
No, totally. It's funny that we're talking about this because, I'm getting ready to come see y'all.
Yep.
And I'm already anxious. Like, this shows the anxiety in me. I'm already anxious for, what I don't want to forget. And, traveling with the new chair and, trying to decide, do I just bring my walker instead? Because then my cousin's car, it'll fit. I'm having that anxiety of,
you have to go down the list and, prepare for everything.
It is March 9th. I have 12 days, and I'm still thinking about it. My list has started in my head, but I'm very excited.
Good. And we're going to be at the Abilities Expo. Was with a lot of people here a while back. Pretty much every weekend there's some event that I can go to and kind of see everybody. And this was a rally and rolling event, so there was a lot of tennis. I think I saw some of the guys were playing rugby. And just a good day to get together, a lot of cool vendors out. And I was able to kind of reconnect with some people that I'd connected with before. And they said that they would come on. And I'm not going to say who it is, but you know who they are. I'll just say it that way. In our community, definitely, who they are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun and that's cool. And I mean, Doug likes to be outside. And that's one of the reasons why I'm excited to come, right? Because you have touch points with a ton of these people all the time. So they're just your friends. And for me, I pop in for an hour show. I've heard about them for now almost 2 years because they're your friends. Yeah. But it'll be cool to put my face to them and also see their face and go, oh, you're Andrew. Oh, you're.
and there's so many. Yesterday, when I was at the event, there was a couple of people that I saw a glimpse of them. While I was talking to somebody, and I thought I got to get over and say hi. Never saw him again, and that happened to at least two people. But
we're poof.
But I met a number of great people. I can already tell just from talking to them. They have great stories, So it'll be a while because we've kind of started to bank some of these interviews and get them done, and so it might be mid-April or so before we meet them. But they're going to be some interesting stories. Stories. Yeah.
What else did you do besides get outside for the weekend?
What else did I do? What did I do? I did something.
Right? If I didn't have a day job, I don't know what I would tell you because
I know.
The more you age, the more you're like, was that last week or 2 weeks ago? Or yesterday?
On Friday on Friday. If I'm going to do something with somebody on Sunday, I'll invariably say, I'll see you tomorrow. And they'll go, tomorrow? Tomorrow's Saturday. I'm like, I'm retired. I don't know what day it is.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Forgive me. It starts with an S. I don't know.
I bet you, most people have that on their watch. They have the day. It'll say the day of the week.
Yes.
All that. And I'm like, people probably look at that and go, what do I need that for? I know exactly what day. When you're retired, you need that. You're like, okay, today's Tuesday. Oh, it's not Saturday or...
Yeah.
Every day feels like Saturday. It's great. Wait till you get there. No, you got something to look forward to. It'll be great. It'll be great. Of course, like and subscribe. And, that was one of the things, that it hit me. I appreciate seeing all my friends and appreciate that they support my passion,
Right.
And, they don't know it. I don't think it probably doesn't hit them. They, I invited them to come on. They told their story. But it means so much to me, just like everybody that listens. This little thing, trust me, I'm not making any money. I'm not doing it for money.
Yeah.
And then one step further, I realized that I'm one of those people that, you hear about, find a job that you love and you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
And that was me. So basically what I'm doing in my retirement is my job that I did for years.
That you loved.
Yeah, I loved.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Well, and the people that tune in and listen to us, even if we're two friends sitting here talking and telling somebody's story, that's somebody's like dark time or somebody's like ability to rebound or whatever. We're not like, on today, let's talk about horses. You know what I mean? Like these people are opening up and showing a darker part of themselves or something hidden or something like really difficult. And sharing that, even if it's an hour or they sit with us and then they forget they did it, at some point, their story resonates with other people.
Well, as I, move about and see my friends, and if somebody introduces me to somebody, that alone, I know that they didn't hate the experience because they wouldn't invite their friends to go, hey, here's an experience I hated. Go try it out.
Yeah.
You know
These
what I mean?
people suck. Go talk to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then on top of that, they do say to me all the time, especially those people that are nervous coming in, really nervous. And then afterwards, I invariably will have them say, oh, it was great. It was just, we were just chatting. We were just having a conversation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, if you know somebody that wants to be on, I've had,
so if you want to come have a conversation,
come on and have a conversation with us. But I have had a couple of people reach out, and there's got another person in the United Kingdom that wants to come talk to us, and it really looks it's something we haven't covered before. Kind of like holistic kind of remedies, and to deal with the pain that we hear about. Our guests talk a lot about, especially quads. I kind of think deal with that phantom pain, and and it's real to them, but it's in parts of their body that they can't feel anymore, but they feel this pain. Yeah. So yeah, those are all things that are coming up. So appreciate you joining us today. We've got an interview with Sandy Gilbreath, and speaking of putting interviews in the bank, we had something lined up with her son,
Cory.
The infamous or famous Cory, Curb Free with Cory Lee. Yep. And if you want to know more about him before we actually talk to him, he's on the website under resources. He just does, right? He travels the world and, and gives you tips.
Showing you how you can kind of go and be and do things. But I'm going to lead it back to his mom in this episode. And this is why I was so excited for this episode. I'm also excited that she's first because I feel like and you and I say this all the time, we're raised by really good parents.
Yeah.
And they gave us the foundation to be who we are. And I mean, some of it is nature, but a lot of it is nurture. And she obviously did a tremendous job to show him, your container's different, but we're going to do it. And she rubbed her pennies together and used her, wood ramps and hulked her chair into the car to make things happen. And I think parents are overlooked about how much it's literally a sacrifice of their own life to give you a life. And that is what this story is about. So I'm excited.
And in addition to the sacrifice, it's the mindset they have. Unfortunately, I know parents who have 30-year-old kids that are totally dependent on them and don't need to be. That lack of independence they have is because of their parents. Won't mention any names, but
But Sandy did not do that.
She didn't do that.
Tell her story.
Yeah.
Her story and a bit of Cory's story by offshoot, but it's really important to me that we feature her, and she's doing some amazing things now that he's older, and she continues to be active in the community and giving back and all the things. So
so we'll hear that story next. And speaking of people that support you and I love them and I thank them very much for everything they do for us. Aguiar Professional Training, they've been here with us from the beginning. So we'll hear a word from them, and then we'll be right back with Sandy Gilbreath.
At UGYAR Professional Training, we know that your greatest asset is your team. Investing in their development, knowledge, and happiness is essential for your business's success and growth. To achieve new heights, it's important to hire intelligent, talented individuals and empower them to excel in their areas of strength and passion. UGYAR is committed to transforming your employees into happier, more productive, and fulfilled individuals. When your team thrives, your business prospers. Wise leaders understand that providing team members with opportunities to shine in their strengths unlocks untapped potential. Elevate your team with UGYAR Professional Training and witness the growth of your business.
From the UGYAR Professional Training Studios, you're listening to Walk and Roll Live, Disability Stories.
Step into the stories, hear the truth unfold. Voices rising boldly, breaking every mold. Life without limits, we shatter the walls. Together we're stronger, standing tall. These are the tales of hearts unchained, of battles fought, of joys reclaimed. Through open talks and journeys shared, we show the world how much we care. Life limitless, no boundaries here. Every voice is strong, every word sincere.
Welcome back to Walk and Roll Live. Let's start with our guest giving our audience, you, a brief introduction about yourself, just your name, where you're from, and why you're here today, and then we'll really get into the nitty-gritty.
All right, I'm Sandy Gilbreath. I am from Lafayette, Georgia, still live in Georgia, Georgia native, and I am the mother of Curb Free with Cory Lee. My son is Cory, who runs that blog, and he's used a wheelchair since he was 4 years old due to spinal muscular atrophy. So we travel the world together, and he has made me really who I am today.
Excellent.
Aww. I think it goes the other way because you give him some spirit, but we'll get into that over time. But I, as a child who has a mother, would like to argue that it starts with the mother and the attitude of the mother and the feeling that you can do anything and you can be anything, and you're going to hold our hand while we do that. So.
Thank you so much.
Well, I tell you, Addie is making new friends left and right now. It's like it's her mission right now, and she's found some great people, I must add. But it's all about you today, and this is something that we've wanted to explore for a while. Because we've talked to many people with disabilities over the last 2 or 3 years, but we've always been kind of curious what it's like to be the parent of somebody who you're a caretaker for. So we want to get to know you. And just maybe start with your early years. Where did you grow up, and what was early life like for you?
Yeah, my early life, I grew up in the South. My family, I had my mom and dad, a sister, grew up out in the country playing with my dogs, and really just a simple life out in the country. I really never traveled that much, never went too far. We would go on a yearly trip, maybe to Florida, with my parents, and that was about the gist of it. Never out of the country, anything big. But we were a close-knit family, close to the neighbors and playing kickball in the yard, things like that. So I had a good childhood, but at the age of about 20, decided, I'm getting married and having a kid, and ever since then, my life has drastically changed because I had never even changed a diaper, never even babysat before when I had my son Cory. So it was eye-opening, to say the least.
Right, you were doing the like quote unquote traditional thing. Especially not to be stereotypical, but like I now consider myself a Southern transplant. I have been here more than 20 years. And, typically that is the thing. If you go, you find your husband, you get married, you have kids. That was still a traditional kind of value, right? So where you're kind of raised, I could see that is the dedicated path. So, here's what you do, but it's a storybook and you get like the nice version, they don't tell you about the dirty diapers. You just know a baby has a diaper.
You just think, it looks so sweet. This cute little family of 3. Yeah. Just me, my kid, and my husband. But by the time I think I had gotten divorced by the time Cory was 4 years old, and so raised him ever since then as a single parent. So it was a lot to learn over the years.
So you had multiple like books and scenarios that you were not handed when they said, here's your next step. They didn't say, here's how to raise a disabled child, here's how to be a single parent, here's how to get a divorce in the South. Like
Right.
they didn't say those things. So where did you learn like kind of that resiliency, like even at a young age? Because I'm assuming, you can correct me, but I'm assuming you were young, and so you hadn't had a lot of life experience to bounce back, and especially from things that seem so big and insurmountable.
Right. I mean, luckily I had such great parent support. And when I first found out that Cory had spinal muscular atrophy, which is a disease that takes muscle digresses over time. So he never really walked and done those things. But when we first found out that that's what he had, the first phone call I made after hearing that from the doctor was to my mom and dad. And my dad answered the phone that day, and I was crying. I was like, the doctor says he may never walk. He was only 2 years old at the diagnosis time, and I couldn't even imagine this life. I'd never been around anyone in a wheelchair that much. And I thought, how am I going to do this? And my dad said, just be thankful for what abilities he does have, and always focus on what he can do. And honestly, I sit there in that moment on the phone. I'm getting almost choked up even thinking about it, because that strength from him, when he said that, it really hit me. And I just sat there and thought, he's right. I've got a lot to be thankful for, and we're going to make the best life that we can. And that's what I've tried to do. I've gave every moment that I could to my son.
I was going to say, I think you've done a good job. If I'm just from the outside, if I'm looking loosely, I think you have achieved said goal. But
I try.
That said, how did you know to even go to the doctor, or like, look into anything? Like, what made you go, something is different here if he's two?
Well, I saw, all the other kids that were my son's age when he was just 1, he still wasn't walking at his first birthday party. He would try to pull up, his legs would buckle with him, and he would just fall backwards and hit the floor with the back of his head before I could even run and catch him. It's like he was pulling up on furniture and trying to walk and take a few steps, but he just was not making that progress to actually take those steps. And he would just, his knees would give out instantly. And so I went to the pediatrician, took him several, for at least 6 months to a year before. And the doctor kept saying, oh, some kids progress differently. It'll come with time. And I never blamed that doctor for not testing him earlier, because usually that's right. That's usually the correct scenario. They'll, no kid walks at the same day and time. So I just
is his condition rare?
It is a fairly rare disease, but it is, we have met so many people now with SMA, it's spinal muscular atrophy. Yeah. It says it's a rare genetic disorder, but we know tons of people with it now.
You're like, wait a minute. You put the word rare in here, and did you know all these other people? We always joke about, if you meet somebody else with CP or whatever, people will be like, oh, do you know so-and-so? Like, it's a directory. So you guys have the directory on SMA, and
There's actually a Cure SMA conference every year. So we didn't go until like 2 years ago, but our first year going, we were like, wow, there's 1,000 people here, or thousands. I don't even know how many. It's huge every year. So it's an incredible community to be in.
Yeah. Community is what makes it go. You've kind of already alluded to that if you didn't have your family, like community is what saved you and made it able to happen, right? So you've kind of alluded to that. So.
That's our mantra right now, right? We're really trying to encourage people to find their community. Yeah.
Yes, it definitely helps because like I said, I was so young and didn't know any other families like us, any kids in a wheelchair. And just to finally get that doctor to say, okay, well, let's do a muscle biopsy. And then my son had to be put to sleep for that. I was scared to death, thinking, gosh, what are they going to find? And then I still remember to this day going into the doctor's office to get the results.
Yeah.
And as I walked in, a mother was rolling her son out in a wheelchair. As I was going in, she was coming out with her son. And I looked at her and I thought, is that going to be us? Is that going to be,
my future?
Yeah. I mean, my heart sank just seeing her come out. And now I think back to that moment and I'm thinking, why was I even sad? Like, life can be so wonderful, just because it's a wheelchair. So what?
You just didn't know. You were young and you didn't know. And so, okay, so that kind of like moves us along in the story. So they finally do the muscle biopsy. They tell you it's this thing. And then what? Are at that point, are you a single parent or you still had a co-parent?
At that point, I still had a co-parent. He was diagnosed at 2. We didn't divorce until he was 4. So the next 2 years after the diagnosis were so rocky because I felt like I was giving 150% of myself to make sure he was going to physical therapy, occupational therapy. I was trying to research. It was right in the dial-up internet days, so there wasn't a lot of research. But this was in the early 90s. But my therapist was trying to say, here's a phone number from another mom who has a child in a wheelchair. Like Cory's physical and occupational therapist really helped me along to meet other families and to know where to get a wheelchair accessible van, where to get a wheelchair, how to, what do we even need? So having that support helped me to get through those times. But my husband, on the other hand, was not as hands-on as I was. He was kind of letting me do it all. He wasn't helping me. I didn't feel like enough.
Yeah.
And finally, it came to the point I said, I can't raise 2 people, and I moved on. But I just, I felt so strong. I felt so, I was trying to do so much with no support at home. So I had to let go.
Yeah. And that's okay. It's good to choose you and choose your child. And if energy is finite, you only have so much energy to give.
Right.
There you go. You I can't remember. My grandma used to say fish or cut bait. So we cut some bait and let's go.
Wow. Your Southern accent really came out there, Addie.
Sorry. It's what happens when I have another person that makes the same.
I knew exactly what you meant.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. It's been a long, hard road. I'm not going to act like it's easy. It's been hard. I mean, we struggled. I struggled to make ends meet, by myself and trying to work and take care of him. And I finally, when he entered school, pre-K age, I luckily got a job in the school system as a paraprofessional. So I was able to work the same school hours as he was there, take him to school, and I was at the same school he was at. So that really helped too. I wasn't in his classroom, I wasn't his aide, but I was around enough to make sure he was okay and kind of keep an eye out and be able to drive him back and forth to school with those same days off.
Amazing. Smart thinker.
Yes, that
Think smarter, not harder on that one.
That helped so much. The pay was not great, but we made it work. We made it work.
Were there any programs or services in your neighborhood that would help out in different ways?
No, I did get some help from a local Civitan club, had donated a lift, and I was able to buy a used van with some money. My grandpa had passed away and left me just enough to get a used van because he saw me struggling trying to get my son in and out of a vehicle and then folding up a wheelchair, get it in and out. And he said my grandpa said if there was one thing he was ever going to do when he passed away was going to leave me enough to get me a van. And by golly, he did it. And
makes life a lot easier, huh?
Yes, it did. And I didn't have a ramp or a lift on it, but my dad actually cut some 2x4s to make a ramp on my first van. And I would have to pick Cory up out of his wheelchair, drive the wheelchair up those 2 boards, and then get Cory in there and then pick the boards up, put them in the van. I mean, you talk about poor. Now I was poor with no resources, but luckily, that the club the Civitans had seen that need and had made a local donation to the wheelchair supply company. And they are like, hey, I know this lady that could really use these. She's using wooden boards.
Boards. Yeah.
It worked out.
Yeah.
Well, that certainly is a testament to your will. They say where there's a will, there's a way.
That's
You
right.
demonstrated that. Yeah.
Yeah, it worked. So it wasn't easy, but it worked. And then through the years, I mean, we struggled a lot. I mean, financially, like I said, I wasn't making a lot of money, so we weren't taking any trips. And Cory was, I mean, he was a smart kid and doing very well in school. And I always wanted him to go to college because I was actually in college when he was born, but ended up quitting. And I wanted him to be able to do that when I hadn't done it myself. So I was like, we're going to find a way. You're going to college. You pick any college. We're going to figure this out. And vocational rehabilitation actually worked with us when he was in high school to help to get a caregiver in place, helped him to cover some college. And then he also got 8 scholarships on his high school graduation that helped to cover 100%. So,
well, he isn't a dumb kid. Most of us are not dumb because our brains are what works best. So we're like, let us synthesize this information. Let us become a human encyclopedia. And if we're lucky, sometimes somebody notices and it helps us do things like go to college.
Yes, it's amazing. I mean, I don't know that I could have afforded it myself. I don't know how I would have made ends meet to do it enough, but luckily I didn't have to worry about that. And he was able to graduate and then started his blog. And from there, I mean, it's another story to tell, but I mean, it was hard getting blown up. Yeah, it was a hard getting that.
We call that a tease. When Cory comes on, he could tell that whole story. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Good job.
Yeah.
So you obviously, like, what do you think are the biggest lessons? Like, maybe not even as a disabled mom, like a mom to a disabled child, but just like as a mom and a caregiver, what are some things, if somebody's new and they just had a kid with a disability, if there are things that you wish you could say to them or help them with, kind of like your dad did, or that clarity moment? Are there things that you would say? Or
I would definitely tell them, I mean, a diagnosis is not the end of the world. It's just the beginning, because no matter what that diagnosis is, even if it's terminal, I mean, you need to make the best of every day. Every day. I don't care if your day is just getting them up, get them dressed, and having a happy smile together. Whatever you can do, whatever, you make the best of every day, because life's too short to sit home and think, this is it. I'm going to die, or whatever. I mean, you can't sit and think like that. You have to think to live, not to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that's easier to do. It's a little, to just be depressed about it and all that. To me, my own opinion, and I think you have to put a little effort in to find that smile every day. But it has rewards.
Yeah, you have to really dig down and think, how do I want each day to be? Because I could wake up and be sad and miserable every day if I sat and worried about everything in every detail. But I mean, what fun is that? At least have something to look forward to every day, whether it's a favorite snack, whether it's a TV show, or whether it's a trip, whatever it is, petting your dog, whatever, have something that makes you smile every day.
Yeah. Good words. So one of the new things that probably makes you smile or makes you stressed is your blog. It's called My Sandy Trail. And can you tell us more about the blog and like what inspired you to do that?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you guys are kind of out there with Cory's own blog journey, but you're stepping out on your own because you're a person too. So let's talk about you.
As Cory's blog had grown, I mean, a lot of parents were reaching out saying, I want to hear Sandy's side of this. I want to know how she got the wheelchair on the airplane. How does she pack? How does she plan for such a large trip? Is she not scared? And so I thought, with all those messages coming in, I thought that it could really be a resource if I started my own page and my own blog to help other parents or other moms to know, yes, it's a lot of work. And yes, I'm scared every time we fly. And yes, I worry the wheelchair might get damaged, but this is how I did it and how I did it anyway, or how I planned for it. So I really wanted to start it as a resource to help other parents, because I'm scared every day. I mean, I know how it is. I mean, I'm one of them.
Right. You are also on the journey as you lead part of the journey.
And it really gave me a sense of community that I didn't even know I needed, because as the years, as Cory grew up and years rocked on, I had lots of friends when I was younger and as an early mom, but as the kids grew up and everybody kind of goes and does their own way, my community was getting less because my time is all given to my son and traveling and just making sure he's taken care of. So it really gave me a community as well that I've really enjoyed having other women and other moms to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is so important. There's the fellowship part of it, but then the practical side of it when you're learning those little hacks,
Right.
to take care of the whole situation. And as old as I am, I still learn some things from the new people that are disabled.
I
I'm not
also
too
realize
humble.
that I'm old the more we talk to younger people. And then I'm like, wait, like I want to, in my head, I'm like 20. And then we talk to like some of our young people and I'm like, wait, I could be your mom. That's
Right.
Yeah, in my head, I think I'm 20, and then I walk by a mirror.
Yeah, as years rock on, I'm thinking, okay, now, like I went to school with their granny. Like, what's going on here?
Yes.
for sure.
Good. So have you gotten together with your community in person? Have you done an event like that?
Yes, last year was my first annual Caregiving Moms Refresh Retreat. So I'm so excited for that. We're doing a second one this year in May. It's held in Panama City Beach. It was last year and it's going to be again this year. And what it is, it's just a retreat for caregiving moms who are giving their all to their kid every day that has a disability. And it's just something that I felt like I needed, something I felt like other moms may need, to get away, to have those girlfriend moments where we're just going to dinner, we're laughing. It's not for the kids, it's for us. The kids are at home with dad or with a friend or family member. And we just go for 3 nights to have dinner together. We have inspirational speakers. We have a comedian come. We do beach time, pool time. We even did some karaoke and a bonfire on the beach last year. And I mean, we had the best time. And on the last night, this past time, every mom, at the bonfire on the last night, they were like, oh, please tell me you're doing this again next year. And I really wasn't even sure at that moment, was this a one-time thing? But I was like, yes, I'm in.
You're like, whoops, I just committed myself. But it's so important, right? Because you have to fill your cup. You're so busy making sure, even a mom of quote unquote neurotypical kids, you lose yourself in being that mom, right? But there are kind of like you said, like those girlfriend moments with other people who have like quote unquote normal kids are like, come over and have wine. Well, okay, if your child can't be left unattended without like planning and stuff, coming over for wine on Thursday because you thought about it on Wednesday at lunch is not feasible. And so for you to take time, to do that for people is super important. And like obviously to acknowledge that their life is different and much more intense in different ways. And so do you I know you said you had like karaoke and a comedian, different things. Now, do you have people that like also volunteer their time to help, or like, I'm sure I've helped with fundraisers before and I know a lot of behind the scenes goes into it. So how do you?
Yeah, I have partnered with Amy Tarpon of Elijah's Baby Bucket List. I asked her that first year to join me so I would have some help to get everything planned and organized. And she's helping again this year to get it all done.
Amazing.
Yeah, so it's been so fun for all the moms, but for she and I to be able to plan that together, and we're looking forward to it probably more than the moms are. To be honest.
Right. You have the inside scoop, so you're like, this is gonna be
yeah. We've even got a beautician coming this year and 2 beauticians to do hair and makeup and just to get everybody ready before dinner. And yeah, we're excited. We didn't have that last year. Oh, and we did massages too. So everybody got a 30-minute massage. And
you just said my magic words.
Massage.
Word, I guess, but I'd like to extend them so it could be more than one word. That's amazing.
Do you hold this at a hotel?
Yeah, it's held at the Hampton Inn beachfront in Panama City Beach. And Visit Panama City Beach Tourism actually is a sponsor of ours, and Sunrise Medical. So those two sponsors this past year and this year again as well, they're both sponsoring. I'm so happy that they were happy. I mean, they were like, yes, we want to help these moms. We like Sunrise Medical builds wheelchairs and sells wheelchairs. Yeah. They always help the disability community, but they're like, we want to help give the people who are giving to our customers. So they want to give back to caregivers too. And it's been great.
That's amazing. So you have a date set?
Yeah, it's May 14th through the 17th this year.
It's coming up pretty quick.
Yeah, coming pretty quick. We're counting down already.
Do you have a flyer already?
I do. I've got an ad. I've put it on my Sandy Trail about it. And all my spots, I've actually sold 32 spots this year for the retreat, and we're sold out. We couldn't take any more than that. So we've already got a for 2027. So
okay, I was going to say we could publicize it for you, but you already sold out.
She's a witch. She don't need us.
I would love to have 100 moms, but to take that many to dinner and everybody get there and get back for that next event, it's hard. But maybe we could do it 2 or 3 times next year.
Right. There you go. You do quarterly.
Doing different regions, right?
Yeah, exactly. There we go. We're gonna. Well, you'll blow this up. Knowing you, the little bit I've known you, we'll just keep talking about it, and all of a sudden you'll be like, "Yeah, I have 7,500 moms." Like, what the heck? Sandy no longer could do the blog because she's now specializing in this.
Cory's already whining about it. He's like, I want to go to Panama City. I'm like, nope, can't go. Good.
You're like, this is no children allowed. And even if you were different, you're still my child. So get
no
out.
offense, Cory, but that's the point of the whole thing.
He's like, well, maybe I could be a speaker. I'm like, nope, sorry. We have all female speakers.
You're like, I am speaking. I have listened to you for many years. It's okay.
That's awesome.
So not only do you do that, you've co-authored a book called Let's Explore with Cory. So tell us about that, because you like to do a lot of things.
Yeah, Let's Explore with Cory is a children's book, and Cory and I actually wrote it together, and we had a friend of ours that is our illustrator who does a magnificent job with bright, colorful photos, and it's a story about a kid in a wheelchair who travels the world, and all the places in the book that he goes are places that Cory and I have actually been together. So we know that they're wheelchair accessible, and we knew what to put in those photos because we've been to all those places.
Yeah. You can vouch for it.
Yeah, and we wanted to do it because when Cory was little, we just didn't see any books like that. And Cory loved going to the school book fair and to the library, but never did we see books about kids in wheelchairs, which we're seeing a little more often now, thank goodness. But when we first wrote it, there just wasn't that many. So
yeah, representation matters, right? Yeah.
It really
Where can people find it? Where can people find it?
They can find Let's Explore with Cory on Amazon and also on Barnes and Noble. And we also every year at some of the Abilities Expo, Sunrise Medical has been purchasing 50, and we give those away and sign them. So
fun.
Yeah, look for that.
Super fun. Sounds like we have another project, Sandy. We can get it into the schools. I think you and I.
There you go. Yeah.
I used to be a teacher, so
wonderful.
I know some librarians. Maybe we'll see what we can do.
We've done a few book readings at school assemblies and things like that, just around our local area, and a couple in Florida. But I would love to do that more too, just to get the word out there, and not just for the special needs classrooms. It's been more beneficial for kids not in wheelchairs to see it and say, hey, this is possible for someone in a wheelchair to travel to Africa and do a safari and all these things. Like, they're amazed by it. So
normalize it. Absolutely.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, thanks. It's been exciting. And we're actually just finished our second children's book. It's not on the market yet, but it is going to print this week. So we're excited.
Amazing. There should be a series because, life is long and one book cannot contain all the adventures.
Yeah. I know, and my goal is I want little characters that are from the book, like the kids can actually have a toy to go with them.
Oh, yeah.
That would be my goal, but maybe
that's
something.
Amazing.
Yes.
So there's a foundation now, the Curb Free Foundation. And you're
Yes,
on the board,
I
obviously.
am.
So can you explain what the mission and like the impact or the idea behind that foundation is?
Yes, the Curve Free Foundation started, my son and I started it because we just saw that um, so many people are always commenting on his blog, on my blog. I would love to travel like you guys do, but we don't have the money. And that's understandable. I mean, I would have never had the money or the means either had he not done this for a business. But we wanted to be able to give back and make those trips possible for people. And so what it is, you just fill out an application online. If you're a wheelchair user or a friend or family member is that you want to award a trip, a dream trip, and it's absolutely free for those families. So we ask for donations, and we have sponsors that sometimes donate to the foundation. And then we'll award trips based on how much money comes in each year. We've gave a trip to a girl who had never been to Disney World, and she was in her 30s. And she said growing up, her mom always told her that she couldn't go because it wasn't accessible. And she cried, sent us a video crying when she made it to Cinderella's castle, once she finally got to take her trip. We sent another lady to Paris. She had always dreamed about going to Paris, and she uses a wheelchair, and her mom was able to go. And we'll give them enough money to take that dream trip just by them filling out an application, letting us know where they're wanting to go, why they want to go there, why that's their dream, and why is that important to them. And then we put the application before a board, and then if it's all unanimous, they'll pick one, and that's how it happens. So we'll just send them a check for the total amount of the price, the gas or flight, the food. Like, we make it a whole package so they're not out of pocket anything, and they can just go and enjoy it.
That's amazing. That is the power of social media and the modern times
really
that we live in. I mean, sometimes I'm like, screw the internet. But then I'm like, wait, I work online, so I better not say that loud. We do this online. But at the same time, seeing people like you who are willing to get back into the community that is, created who they are in some ways. Obviously didn't do those things for you, but like gave you a platform and helped.
I wish we could give more. Like we've gave, I think,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's 6 or 8. I'd have to go back and count each trip, but we've gave them away over the past 3 years. And I mean, I would love to be able to give so much more, but we just don't have the donations or the funding to do that. But I mean, a little bit comes in, I'm like, let's see if anybody.
Doug is inserting the perfect word for the manifestation.
I've been listening to her talk for 15, 20 minutes, and I can tell it's yet.
Yeah, exactly.
So can you maybe tell us about some of the experiences in traveling the world as far as accessibility goes? Because I wonder if there's people that just are frightened to go out and explore and thinking that those old worlds especially aren't as accessible.
Yeah, I mean, nowhere is going to be 100% accessible. Yep. I mean, nowhere. You guys know that. Yeah. So you're going to have to make the best of each destination and find what is accessible and do those things. So I feel like from the blog, from Cory's blog, you can definitely look at other bloggers or from other people who've actually been there and see what all they did. And then when you go, you can do that many things because they did. And then maybe you can find something else and add to it and get the word out there. But some of the most accessible places we've probably been was Barcelona, Spain. We really loved it. Their beaches were great. They even had free assistance on the beach that would come help people get into the water with a lift system with chairs that actually rolled into the water, and they would help stay in the water with that person. They had changing rooms at the beach with lay down tables to help them get undressed and dressed back. It was amazing. And
I've seen some of those on like Instagram in different places. Yeah.
So nice. So nice.
But I'm going to rewind you in time because you were the mom. You were the mom that had to do this without the internet.
Yes.
And wanted to teach him that he could have an open and wide life that you've obviously now forwarded into what's happening now. But how did you as a mom without the internet or with dial-up figure, I mean, obviously you're a hook or by crook person who's like, give me words and a car and we'll do this. But how did you do that? Like, I want to know about how you personally did those things.
Well, when Cory was little and we went to the beach, I would carry him I carried him everywhere he went if it wasn't accessible. I remember carrying him up flights of stairs to get to the top of overlook towers. I would carry him down to the sand because his wheelchair couldn't roll on it. But I would just go blindly, and if it wasn't possible, I would carry him and make it happen. But as he got bigger, of course, that was not happening. But I feel like, I mean, just having that open mindset of going and trying to make it possible and see what's possible. I think it's all in the attitude, honestly, because if you think, oh, I'm going to make this work, you're going to make it work. I mean, I've even we were in, where were we? I think we were in Israel, I think. I was going to say India, but I believe it was Israel. But there wasn't a ramp to get onto like a surface to tour an area. And I took my shoes off and used the bottom of my shoes and made a makeshift ramp so that Cory could get up on that next level just by rolling up on my shoe soles. I mean, if you just use your mind, I mean, you can make things happen, but it's not easy. You got to be creative if it's not accessible, for sure.
Right. Yeah. I feel like Southern people are born with creativity gene, though, that like other people are not. Like, all we need is duct tape and a piece of metal, and you're like, you don't know what you're about to make. Somebody just said you needed a thing, and then
redneck
I think
engineering.
Yeah. I think that's something I've learned living over here. I mean, I kind of knew it. My grandma was born and raised in Illinois, but I feel like then immersing myself in this life, I've seen some crazy stuff.
Right.
So, if we can jump forward, I'm interested because I know we've interviewed a few here, websites and whatnot, and organizations that help people travel, and they go ahead and will make sure that there are beds that they can transfer to, or if they have to bring a lift, that the lift will fit under the bed, and they, this company would go and make them go and measure for them and make sure, because most beds in hotels are on platforms now. So how's that experience been more recently?
Yeah, recently, I mean, I'm still old school, and I know some information's out there where they measure the beds for you and things like that. I'm still old school, and I want to personally call the hotel myself and ask those questions, because I have to see it to know it. And if I can't see it, I at least want to hear the manager or someone tell me, okay, there's space under the bed. The bed's 26 inches tall. And I'll ask them, can you go measure that specific room and let me know how tall that bed is? Because to me, that matters. Someone else, it may not, but to me, trying to transfer my son, that matters to me. Is it going to work or not? Is the shower a roll-in shower? Is there a small step? Is there any lip at all? Like, I'll ask those specific questions because he has a rolling shower chair, and if there's any lip at all, it'll try to topple over with him. Like, those wheels are so tiny. So I want to make sure it's completely smooth before I even leave the house and book that room. So, I mean, I'm not saying those sites are not good, because a lot of people use them.
It depends on who's going to be checking on you. Yeah, exactly.
I just want to make sure.
I'm sure you call a hotel and they'll go, yeah. They'll just say yes to everything you say.
Oh, yeah, they will.
Yes. You have to make them go check. Yeah.
Yes. I'll say, go check. And can you please send me a picture? Here's my phone number. Will you text me a picture of that shower? Will you send me a picture of that bed? Because somebody walking in, they don't understand how important
they don't understand. No. And the most common thing, and I share this with my friends when we tell stories, we all share this experience, is that you'll go into a roll-in shower, you get all of that. There's a wand, but the wand most of the time is too far up. You can't reach it. And the bench is at the other side of the shower head.
Almost always.
They don't understand. There's no point. I can't use that shower if it's
Exactly. It drives me crazy. If whoever designs them would just sit down in a wheelchair for 1 minute and go in that room, it would be life-changing for the whole world.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, Doug and I, last September, I had to go for a work trip, and they got me an accessible room. It had a roll-in shower, but when I got in there was no seat. So it was like, are you planning to have me sit on the floor? And I went downstairs, and I was like, hey, you gave me an accessible room. Obviously, I'm in a chair. Like I can't take this in the shower.
Right.
Can you find me a shower chair? And everybody kind of had the oh shit look. Like, do we even have one of those?
Right.
And it took 2 hours for somebody to find one or buy one. I don't know really. And then when they put it in my room, I was at a meeting and they put it in front of the door. So
Oh my
I
God.
opened the door and I had to get one of my coworkers to open the door and push it out of the way. I was like, clearly you have
They don't
never
understand.
had this moment.
Right. They do not understand how important.
You're muted.
Yeah, you had to laugh because it was like just sad how they were like did not
Yeah.
have a clue.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've rented hotel rooms before, and they're like, oh yes, it's accessible. It's got a roll-in shower, the bed's the right height. But when we got there, there was actually a step on the curb with no curb cut to get into the rooms. It was an older hotel where the rooms open to the outside. And there was no curb cut anywhere. And it was like, I don't know, 4-inch step, maybe 3-inch, but it wasn't possible with a 400-pound power wheelchair, to still flip on that. So we're like, no, this is not going to work. And they're like, wait, the room's ADA compliant. And I'm like, well, that's great, but we can't get in it. You never know what you're going to find, but I've learned, call, ask for the manager, and still it doesn't work 100% of the time.
Yeah, it's not 100%.
No, but
So as we kind of come, winding down here on our time together, maybe you could share with us, maybe 1 or 2 nuggets of advice that maybe some new moms or dads that are, facing this all of a sudden, anything to help them?
yeah, I would just say, just treat your child like a normal child. I mean, I know that's hard. I know you want to, your child's going to require extra attention. There's no doubt. They're going to need more from you. They're going to require more from you if they have a disability. That's just what's going to happen. But treat them as if there is no difference. Let other kids come over, let them spend time with them. Take your kid to those birthday parties when it's possible and they can get inside the house or the business or wherever it's at. Help them to be involved as much as you can and be there for them, because I always try to put myself in my son's place and how would I feel? I probably give too much and I'm telling everyone to give them a normal life, but I try to think, how would I feel? And if I was in a wheelchair, or if I couldn't move my arms to scratch my head or to brush my own teeth, how would that make me feel? So I try to just give as much encouragement as you can. Try to make them have a happy day every day as much as you can give, and seize each day. And I always told Cory, I've heard a saying a long time ago from Marilyn Hamilton. She actually, I don't know if you're familiar with her, but she was in a accident, I think a hang gliding accident, if I'm not mistaken, but she had invented one of the first carbon light wheelchairs. And she said, if you can't stand up, stand out. And I've always thought, what a powerful statement. If you can't stand up, stand out. So, just be the best that you can be.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I like it.
What about chores and punishments? Because I always tell Doug, I think that part of the reason we are who we are is because we got in trouble and we had chores.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Cory, he used to, people laugh when I say this now, but sometimes like if he would get whiny or wanting something in a store when he was younger, and I'm like, no, I didn't have the money. And I'm like, no, you can only have one thing. And he would start pitching a fit. I'd say, I'm going to stand you up and whip you right. I know I did not ever beat him or anything, but I would kind of, give him a little pop. But people were, some people don't agree with it, but I never hurt him. I'm not going to say I whipped him, but he knew not to get whiny, in a store or something. But
had manners, just he doesn't get a pass on no manners because he's different.
He learned manners. He learned what no meant. And even around the house, he enjoyed doing chores. Of course he whined about it as he got older, but when he was younger, I would hand him like a feather duster, and he would roll around in his wheelchair and he would use that little feather duster to try to help dust the furniture, which really it didn't do a lot of good, but he felt like he was helping, and I loved for him to feel like, he was out. So find those little chores. And I would ask him we made a calendar like on the refrigerator, and we would set goals each week or things we wanted to do. And he would use a whiteout eraser to help erase, as the days went by, and just little things like that to help him feel a part of everyday chores or lists or whatever it was.
Yeah, see, that's
you go back 70 years when I was a baby, me and my brother, and we had been in quarantine. We were in the hospital for, 2 or 3 months. And so my parents, my young parents with these kids with these new situation, and they're about to take them home. And this nurse, and this is what my dad would say. He said, there was this battle axe of a nurse. He told us that what you just said, treat them normal, treat them like any other kid. That's the way we were raised. You don't need a whole book. One phrase like that can determine your whole outcome. Yeah. So, and that's the way we were, and I'm drawn to people like that now, the people that don't treat me differently, who never, and they can ask me anything they want, but if the people that don't make a big deal about it, and there are those people. And so, I'm drawn to those people. But so Addie, do you think we have time? We've never done this before, but I noticed you put some rapid fire questions down here. You think we have time for that and try it?
I think it's fun. I thought it was fun. But I do want to make one comment about you saying you're drawn to people. My thing that I like to tell people now to break the ice is we're not real friends if you don't forget me on a curb.
Right.
That always makes people laugh, but it's the truth. Like, if you have overlooked my disability so far that you forget I can't get off there by myself, you're a new bestie. Like,
oh yeah, we should share those stories one day. That could be a whole episode,
right? What are the things that have happened to you?
Yes.
But let's do some rapid fire. I thought it'd be fun. Okay. Are you ready?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really.
What fills your cup?
My cup is full when I see that my son is happy.
Okay. What was the favorite place you've ever traveled?
My favorite place is probably, that's a hard one. There's a lot of good places, but probably our recent trip to Moorea, which is near Tahiti. We were in an overwater bungalow.
Yeah, I saw those pictures. I was like, oh my God, I need to be adopted right now. Well, before the trip, but
that was my type of vacation. Just relaxing at the clear turquoise water. Yes.
Wow.
Okay, Doug, are you going to shoot the next one?
You want me to do that? Yeah. One thing every caregiver deserves.
Time for themselves. Definitely time for themselves. Even if it's a moment, 2 minutes, 1 minute to read a book, to relax on the couch, to pet their dog, walk outside, whatever it is, a moment to themselves. That's what they deserve.
And what's your personal style? Do you do it as needed or do you schedule it?
It's really as needed. I do try to at least get outside every day, take a walk just to myself. But probably 5-10 minutes. But that's the only thing I really is scheduled every day. I'm like, got to get outside before dark.
Exactly. Set your day. I like it. So,
all right, last but not least.
One final one. Want me?
Yeah, you do it.
So I like this one too. Yeah. What would you tell your younger self?
I would tell my younger self it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay. Because, there was a lot of nights I would sit on the couch and just after I would get Cory put to bed, he was young, elementary school age, newly diagnosed. And I would think, how am I going to do this? I don't have money. I don't know what to do. I'm by myself. How is all this going to work? But it's going to be okay. You're going to figure it out. You're stronger. What's inside you is stronger than what's in your way. It is. You're stronger than you think.
Yeah.
Amazing. I can vouch for that. I've known you for like 2 minutes, but no, 49 minutes, but I will say yes. Yes, I agree. Concur.
It's been a pleasure meeting both of you guys. I've enjoyed this.
Well, Sandy, thank you. It's a pleasure meeting you. And thank you so much for spending time with us here on Walk and Roll Live.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the honor of having me today. Thank you.
Each week on Walk and Roll Live, we share honest and open stories of people living with a disability.
I had a huge bruise from my mom's 9mm. It was a hollow point, and it went in diagonal up an angle from just above my right ear to about the left side of my top of my head.
Join us weekly for another powerful episode. Walk and Roll Live, wherever you get your podcasts. Life Limitless. Subscribe now.
From the Ugyar Professional Training Studios, you're listening to Walk and Roll Live, Disability Stories.
Yep, this is Walk and Roll Live. And my friends, today's episode was kind of a part one of a two-parter. What'd you think of today's episode?
Well, it's a tale of two Sandys. My mom is Sandy. This is a powerful Sandy as well, right? So I guess, I don't know, maybe if your name is Sandy, you have a 50% chance of having a cool kid. We're going with that. But
all right.
Super cool story. If you've sat with us through it, you realize it's super cool. I'm excited because her give back to moms who are caregivers is coming up in May, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. So it's cool to see, just the story continue. Cory obviously doesn't need her in the same way anymore, but she didn't give up the cause and be like, I'm done. Obviously they still travel together all the time. It's been fun. Even since we recorded the episode, I obviously watched them on socials and send little notes, and they were in Abu Dhabi at this crazy hotel. And wow. I'm like, oh, yeah. So, I hope people enjoyed the episode as much as we did, recording it, but I think limits are in your head. It's a container.
And more to come with her, all her endeavors to kind of help, mothers that are traveling with kids with disabilities or whatever it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or even the people, and I think with her and her son, they both are we can do this. You can do this. It's a whole cheering section from the same family. But I think we keep saying as we interview people, attitude is such a big part of it.
Yeah. An example just, really brings it across more than sit here and tell you all day, yeah, you can go out and travel. Yeah. But when he's out there living that, it really makes an impact.
Yeah.
All righty. Good stuff. More to come next week. And again, I've been busy kind of adding stuff to our resource page and our events page. There's a bunch of stuff up there. I think I got to go take some stuff down because it's happened already. But at any rate, yeah. And if there's anything you know about that is not up there, obviously there's probably tons of stuff that we've missed. But because people will say something to me, I'm like, oh, that's a good one. I'm going to go find that and put it on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let me do that right now.
And I, continue to try to do that. So we'll see you next week. Thank you again for listening. Like and share, and maybe give us a ranking, maybe give us a little comment of some sort.
Subscribe.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah, anything.
We like having you hang out with them.
We'll take it. All right. I'm Doug Vincent. Addie Rich is my co-host from the Ugyar Professional Training Studio. This has been Walk and Roll Live, Disability Stories, Life Limitless.